أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to today's class. I'm going to request A5101. I can find him. Okay, A5101 doesn't seem to be there. Let's have A5105. Assalamu alaikum. A5105.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please recite the prayer just on the screen here, the first prayer?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري.
Yeah, very good. And the translation, please.
Lord, expand my mind and make my task easy for me.
Okay, brilliant. And what chapter of the Holy Quran has this prayer been taken from?
26 to 27.
Excellent, brilliant. Jazakallah. Thank you very much. So today's lesson, we're going to be moving on to lesson number 3, which is regarding the Arabic letters. So before we do that, N6103.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Can you not hear me properly?
No, you're a bit quiet, but I can hear others a bit loud.
Okay. Let me see if I can just adjust my sound. Is that any better, or is it still?
It's the same.
It's the same. And have you got your own volume?
It's fine now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Jazakallah. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I think that was my microphone that wasn't plugged in properly. But that's not a problem. Okay, so as I said, we're going on to lesson number 3, which is 10 most mispronounced Arabic letters. And we are basically going to be covering the first of those in this series. So the first letter we're looking at, we've got 10 altogether that we'll be going to be covering in this lesson, and we're going to be looking at the letter Tha first of all. Before we do that, there is a student. Assalamu alaikum. This student, the screen name is Amelia, but do you have your ID for this class? Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so as I said, we are looking at the first letter over here, and what we're basically going to be doing is looking at the correct pronunciation of those letters. So as I said, we've got 10 in total, which inshallah we're going to be covering over the next 2 weeks, and we'll be looking at the correct way to pronounce them and also what they might sound like, so similar letters in the Arabic alphabet, which they may sound like, and why it's important to make a difference between those letters. So I'm just going to very quickly read the explanation that's written over here. So it is very important to take good care of the following similar sounding letters in the pronunciation of the Holy Quran. They can be classified in the following groups. During the recitation, great attention should be given to these letters. So looking at the very first letter that we've got the letter Tha. So the way that you pronounce it, the explanation again is given over here. The tip of the tongue slightly comes out of the mouth and softly touches the upper teeth. So when you're sounding out this letter, the tip of your tongue should be touching your top teeth. And air should escape when pronounced correctly. So an easy way to remember how to pronounce this word is to think about words in the English language. So we have the letter for the word, for example, thin, T-H-I-N. So that's exactly how you want to be reading the Tha, a very soft sound, Tha. And another word that you can think about, if it helps to remind you, is the word thank you. So thin and thank you, very soft th sounds, which are exactly like the letter tha in Arabic. So you can see that on these slides we've got a few examples, and you can see in the very first line you've been given different examples to show you how the sounds are different to when you read it with a sin. So the letter we're really focusing on differentiating with is sin and tha. So those two letters, we're going to look at the difference, and then we're going to move on to some practice from the Holy Quran. So I'm going to ask from Nasirat this time. I'm going to have N6106. Assalamu alaikum, N6106. Wa alaikum assalam. So looking at this first line in front of us, could you please read just these two examples? So firstly, read it with a sin and then read it with a tha.
Okay. Asa, afa,
Okay, good. And the next one?
asi, athi,
Athi.
athi, asu, athu, aso,
So not aso, so that would make it a lean letter. This is just asu.
asu, athu, asi, athi.
Okay, brilliant. So do you understand how you're going to be pronouncing this letter?
Yeah.
Okay. And what letter are you making sure you kind of make a different sound to?
Sa, sin,
Sin. Yeah, excellent. Okay, Jazakallah, thank you very much.
lakla.
Okay, so let's have this time. A5108, I can see is desperate to be picked. Assalamu alaikum, A5108. Oh, might not have unmuted you. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please read the examples in the second line? So just looking at pronouncing tha correctly.
Batha.
Make it a little bit shorter because remember they're both got a fatha stroke. Batha.
Batha.
Excellent, very good. Next one.
Ithagaltum.
Very good.
Bathi. Fatabathala.
And the last one.
Mumbathan.
Almost there. Mumbathan.
Mumbathan.
Excellent, very good. So do you understand how to pronounce this letter tha?
Yes.
So which English letters would help remind you of the sound that you need to make for this letter?
The.
The would be a little bit harsh, so something like thin or thank you. Okay? And what letter are you making sure you make it you make a difference with it? So you've got the letter tha, but what do you want to make sure you don't sound the letter like?
Sa.
So you want to say tha, but what letter is this over here that we're making a difference?
Sword.
Not sad, not sad. So
Sin.
it's seen. Excellent. Yeah, very good. I mean, you can sometimes confuse it with a sad, but sad is a bit more of a thick letter and it's a bit more rounded in the pronunciation. So most commonly, tha is confused with sin because we know for those Urdu speakers that there's not really a difference when you read it in Urdu. So sometimes you can fall into that trap, but it's important with the Arabic alphabet. Every letter has its own unique sound, so it's really important to make sure we read it correctly because as we discussed in previous lessons, it can sometimes change. So Jazakallah A5108. I'm just going to have a look we might come back to it later actually. I was just going to show you some words. I think we covered it in lesson 1 where we looked at how drastically the meaning can change if you just change the sounds of the letters, but we'll see if we can cover that in a different lesson. So well done on all the students so far. You've correctly pronounced it. It is quite straightforward, but it's just about remembering how to correctly read it when you're reciting the Holy Quran and remembering all of the other rules that you have to think about. So as the Holy Quran is written in Arabic, we should do our best to try to read the letters as they should be sounded according to the language. So we've got a selection of surahs that we're going to be using. So the first surah that we have, we'll start off with the shorter surahs and then we'll see if we can go to the longer ones. So let's start off with, okay, so we've got Surah Al-Buruj, and we've got a couple of examples that I've highlighted just to get some practice. So I'm going to ask, let's have A5120. Assalamu alaikum, A5120.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please, just looking at this verse over here of Surah Al-Buruj, starting from, first of all, if you can just read that highlighted word.
Summa.
Very good. And then if you can read this word over here.
Hadisu.
So over here on the tha, try to make it a little bit thin. Hadithu.
Hadisu.
Okay, and if you read this full word, remembering that how to read this correctly.
Hal atamak hadisul junud.
Okay, just in the middle over here, it's not actually a meme, it's just the ta joined to the kaf. It's just the way that you join it. So it's hal ataka hadithul junud. Okay, so hal ataka.
Okay.
Read this verse for me, please.
Fir'auna wa samuda
And if you're going to pause at that verse, how are you going to read it?
wa samud.
Excellent, very good. Okay, let's have a look. So we have over here Surah At-Tariq. Can you read from verse number 4? So you can see here this second word in this verse has got a tha in it. So this will be a fatha on the alif. So an-najmu.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم النجم الثاقب.
So over here, the lam, we're not actually going to read it. So the alif we are going to join with the noon gunna.
Okay.
And we're going to do gunna on that. So noon mushaddad, and we're going to do a gunna sound. An-najmu.
النجم.
Very good. And then we are going to join this meme with this tha with the shadda. An-najmu thaqib.
Okay. النجم الثاقب.
Excellent, very good. And do you remember from Friday's lessons what we also have to remember? We learned a new rule about certain letters that we have to vibrate a little bit. Do you remember which those letters were?
I wasn't here on Friday. I was away.
Okay, I see. Okay, so in that case, make sure that you do listen back to the recording because we looked at 5 letters, which when they carry sukoon, we vibrate the sound a little bit. So those letters were qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal, and they were the qalqala letters. So what you basically do when you come across them with a sukoon, so you can see here jim, we're just going to shake the letter a little bit. An-najmu. Okay, najm. Okay, and the same over here, الثاقب, الثاقب. So definitely, please do go back. I'll just show you very quickly. The website that you want is nqc.org.uk, and you're going to go to class recordings and G2 class recordings. So they should all be up there. So definitely go and check that out when you get the chance. Okay, so let's try some more words. This time, if you can read just this word for the time being, and then we'll do the full verse.
غثاء
Very good, excellent. And if you can read the full verse from فَجَعَلَهُ
فجعله غثاء أهوى
أحوى.
أهوى.
Very good, Jazakallah. And if you can read this verse over here, please.
Okay. ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا.
Excellent, very good, very well read. And this verse over here.
بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا.
Very good. Just read this word again, please.
بل.
Yeah, that's perfect. You vibrated the sound a little bit, but it's just going to be nice and straightforward. بل تؤثرون. Okay, Jazakallah, thank you very much. So do you feel that you've grasped how to read that letter? Do you think you're quite confident with it?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, Jazakallah. Thank you very much. And your A5120. Thank you, A5120. This time let's have some from Nasirat. So let's have a look. N6116. Assalamualaikum, N6116.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Okay, so can you start from the beginning of this surah? So this is Surah Al-Ghashiyah. So starting with A'udhu Billah and Bismillah. If you can just read the first verse for me.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أنا.
This is ta, yeah? So the two dots, let me just make it a bit bigger. Hal ataka.
Oh, can I start again?
Yeah.
هل أتى كهدي الخاشيت. Wait, should I read some more?
Oh, sorry. So this end of the verse, the way that you're going to end it, hadithul ghashiyah. Yeah, so this is ya,
Oh,
and then we have the ta marbuta at the end. So when you pause, it's going to take a ha sound. Hal ataka hadithul ghashiyah. Okay?
yeah. I just need to ask you one more thing.
Yep.
You know, at the end of the sentence, I think tun.
Mm-hmm.
Should you do the same, like?
Yeah, exactly the same. So amilatun nasibah. So it's going to be the ha sakin that's going to replace that ta marbuta. Okay? And also, so
Yeah.
all of these that you can see, verse 2 as well, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all of these ending with this sort of letter, they're all going to become a ha sound when you end there. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, brilliant. Jazakillah. Let's see if we've got any other. So we've got an example over here. If you can read this verse, please.
Okay. Wazara biju mabthuhu.
So this will be again thuthah, mabthuthah. So again, this is a dhammatain, and in our lesson 2, if you've got a dhammatain, it will take a sukoon. But also, if you ever have this letter, irrespective of the stroke, it will always take, it will always become the ha sakin at the end. Yeah, so it will always be over here as well. وَنَمَارِقُ مَصْفُوفَةٌ وَزَرَابِيُّ مَبْثُوثَةٌ. It's always going to have the ha sound at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, Jazakillah. Are you okay with the tha sound? Do you think you can confidently apply it in your recitation?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, Jazakillah. Thank you very much. N6116. Let's have another one from Nasirat. So I'd like to have N6 120. Assalamu alaikum. N6120. N6120. Can you hear me? Okay, let's try someone else. Let's have N6129 is desperate to be picked. Assalamu alaikum. N6129.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please read this verse over here for me? Starting with Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم إن علينا حسابهم.
Excellent, very good. And if you can read from here up until here.
التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد.
Okay, just read this highlighted word one more time.
مثلها.
Excellent. And just read this word over here.
ثمود.
Excellent. And please read from here up until the end of verse 10.
وثمود الذين جابوا صخر بالواد.
Okay, so over here, just make it a bit more fluent. وَثَمُودَ. Okay,
وثمود.
good. And when you're joining over here, you almost got there in the end. So you're going to be joining this ba with this sad. So جابوا الصخرة. جابوا الصخرة. Okay, just a little bit more stress when you're joining it because of the tashdid. But that was fine. And if you can read this verse over here, please.
فلا
So this is alif here.
فأكثروا فيها الفساد.
That was almost there. What you did was this alif is going to be acting as a blank alif, so we're not going to read that. So it will be read as فيها الفساد.
فيها الفساد.
Excellent. Yeah, Jazakillah. Okay, thank you very much. That was well read. And do you feel that you've grasped this letter tha? Do you think you can apply it confidently in your recitation?
Not sure.
Not sure? So what I would suggest is, and this will actually be the homework for tonight, is whatever you're reciting in your usual tilawat, first of all, highlight those words that contain the letter tha and practice on them. And always keep in mind, if it helps you, to keep the words thin or thank you, so that you know how to pronounce that letter. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah. Thank you very much. Let's have a look now. Let's have another one from Atfal. So A5101. Just one point that I wanted to point out from before. I think it was N6116 or whoever the previous student was read Bismillah twice. First A'udhu Billah and Bismillah and then Bismillah again, but that wasn't necessary because Bismillah is part of the actual chapter. So just once was enough. Okay, I just wanted to speak very quickly. Let's have A5107. Assalamu alaikum, A5107.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please have a look? So we're going to move on to Surah Al-Fajr, and we have a couple of places highlighted. So if you can, oh sorry, we are already on Surah Al-Fajr. Let's move to here. So if you can read verse number 20. First of all, if you look at this word highlighted, again, this alif is going to take a fatha and you're joining it with a ta, with a shadda. So if you're going to read just this word, how are you going to read it?
No?
Not ya, so ya would be underneath, but ta.
Oh, sorry. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rasa.
Almost. So remember, this is alif madda.
Okay, let me start again. Naturasa.
Okay, very good. So if you're reading it on your on its own and not joining it with the previous word, you can just read it as at-turatha. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. So if you can please read from this until the end of the verse.
Okay. Vaya.
Again, this is ta, yeah?
Mata. Kul. Natura. Sa'ak. Lala min.
It's a bit tricky at the end. So what you're going to do is remember this lam, it's got a tanween on it at the moment. It's got the tanween of fatha. When you join it to this lam, again, this is going back to lesson number 1. When you join a noon sakin or a letter which has got a tanween to a lam mushaddad, so that's a lam with a shadda, you're not going to hear any of that tanween sound come through. So aklallamma. Okay, so this you're going to act as if this is just the fatha of this lam. You're joining with this lam mushaddad. So lallamma. Okay, so just read that final word, please.
Okay. Aklamlamma.
So not lan, aklallamma.
Aklallamma.
Excellent, very good. And over here, so this alif, because it's taken a sukoon, the way that you read it is watta. Okay, so there's a slight jerk sound at the end. Watta'kuluna.
Wattakaluna.
Watta.
Wattakaluna.
Yeah, excellent, very good. And over here, if you can first of all read the two highlighted. So this word over here.
Yusiku.
Very good. And this one over here.
Sakahu.
Okay, so with the letter that we're practicing, we're looking at the letter tha. So bear in mind the letter thin, the word thin in English. So that th sound, try and apply it to this because it's sounding a little bit like a scene still. So yuthiqu.
Yusiku.
Very good. Thaqahu.
Sakahu.
Okay, very good. Let's try it over here. Fa'aktharu.
Kasur.
Fa'aktharu.
Taru. Taru.
Very good. Wathamuda.
Wasamuda.
Mithluha.
Mithluha.
Excellent, very good. Okay, so just keep practicing that. You want to make sure when you're reading, you can feel your tongue, the tip of your tongue, so the end of your tongue on your top two teeth. وَلَا يُوثِقُ وَثَاقَهُ. So TH sound on your top two teeth, okay? Okay, Jazakallah, thank you very much. So that was A5107. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, A5107, I just wanted to ask very quickly, when you're listening to the class, is it on a laptop or is it on a computer or iPad? What kind of device are you using?
Computer?
Computer, like a desktop, so you've got it on your desk, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and is it Windows that you're using?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's fine, perfect. Jazakallah, thank you very much. Okay, sorry, I want to go back to A5101. If I can find him. Okay, no, I think he's disappeared. Okay, let's have a student from Nasirat then. Let's have N6102. Assalamualaikum. N6102.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please read from, this is Surah Al-Layl. If you can just read, starting with A'udhu Billah, just over here, this verse over here. Sorry, starting from here, sorry.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما خلقت الذكر والأنثى.
Almost there. So remember, how are you pronouncing this letter at the end? So this is the three dots, so we know it's for a tha.
Untha.
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 Think about the word thin. Wal untha.
والأنثى.
Okay, let's try some others. So we have Surah Duha, and just read this word on its own that's highlighted.
فحدث.
Not he. Remember, this is fatha.
فحدث.
Excellent. Fahaddith. Very good. And just read the full verse, please.
وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث.
Excellent. Very good. Well read. Let's scroll down. We have a few more. Okay, Surah Al-Zilzal. So if you can read from here.
وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها.
So not O, this is fatha on the alif. So read that word again.
أثقالها.
And again, remember when we have a alif madda, so this is alif madda and the letter was fatha. Remember, when you have a madda letter, it's not going to change. So it would be athqalah if ha was the last letter. But because it's alif there at the end, it's going to be still the same, athqalaha. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And read this highlighted word over here, please.
تحدث.
Very good. And just read the full verse.
يومئذ تحدث أو أخبارها.
Okay, just over here, I think you read the stroke wrong. I think you read it as a kasra. So just read it again.
يومئذ تحدث أخبارها.
Very good. And just read the highlighted word here, please.
مثقال.
Excellent. And again here.
مثقال
Very good. So if you were to explain to someone how you would read the letter tha, how would you explain it to them? How would you tell them?
Your tongue touches the top teeth.
Yeah, very good. And what word would it be similar to if you were thinking in English?
Then
Yeah, thin or thank you, anything like that. Okay, good. So let's move on. So we've got Surah Al-Adiyat. Can you read this verse, please?
فأثرن به نقعا.
Very good. And just referring to the lesson that we covered at the end of last week, do you remember what you do on this qaf in the middle?
You jerk on it.
Yeah, exactly. So how would you read this?
به نقعا.
Excellent, very good. And just read this verse as well, please.
أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور.
Okay, so over here and also over here, you made the same mistake. Have you got any idea what you might have done?
Did I Did I just do the other? Like, did I prolong it to another kasra or a fatha?
Yeah, exactly. So it was a little bit too long. أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر. Okay. يعلم إذا بعثر.
Okay.
Okay, Jazakillah. Thank you very much. That was really well read. So very good. Very well done. Jazakillah in 6102. Again, let's have another tifl. Okay, let's have A5104. Assalamualaikum, A5104.
Walaikum salam.
Well, Assalamualaikum. So can we please go to, let's do Surah Al-Qariyah. And can you just read this verse from here, please, from Yawma?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث.
Okay, very good. On here, just read this individual word on its own.
مبثوث.
Okay, very good. And this verse here, please.
فأما من ثقلت موازينه. Excellent,
really good. And so Surah At-Takasur, if you just read the first verse.
ألهاكم التكاثر.
And verse number 5.
ثم كلا سوف تعلمون.
Excellent. And verse number 8.
ثم لترونها عين اليقين.
And the last verse, please.
ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. Okay,
Jazakallah, really well read. Thank you very much. So that was A5104. Let's see who else we have. Let's see. Okay, let's Assalamualaikum. N6134?
Yes.
Assalamualaikum. Can we recite from, so
Did you sign me back in?
Al-Kawthar?
Sign me back in. Go downstairs.
Can you recite the first two verses? Start with Bismillah. It's a little bit loud. What we'll do is I'll come back to you when it's a little bit quieter. So let me just make a note. I'll come back to you in a moment. Let's have N6137.
Uh,
Assalamualaikum. N6137.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please recite from Surah Al-Qasr? First of all, just read the highlighted word and then the full verse.
Al-Kawthar.
Very good. And starting with Bismillah up until verse number 2.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna atainakal kawthar.
Okay.
Fasalli li rabbika wanhar. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar.
Okay, excellent. Jazakillah. And if you can recite from here, from Surah, this Surah over here, At-Takathur.
From Alha.
Yeah.
Okay. Alhaakumut takathur.
Very good. And this highlighted verse here.
Thumma kalla sawfa ta'lamun.
Okay, so if I told you did a mistake over here, what do you think you've done wrong?
I think I've prolonged it.
Yeah, very good. So how long should it be with just a fatha?
1 second.
Yeah, excellent. And if you read this verse, please.
Thumma latarannu rawunnaha aynal yaqeen.
Good. So it's almost there. Just where you were putting emphasis on the letters which had the tashdid, you were prolonging it a little bit. So it's important to keep it short, but just to have the stress on that letter. So ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّهَا.
ثم لترونها عين اليقين.
Very good. And if you can leave the last verse as well, please.
ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم.
Okay, Jazakillah. Thank you very much. Do you feel like you've understood that rule well? Do you think you can apply it in your recitation?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Jazakallah. Thank you very much. So that was N6102. Let's go back to N6134. Okay, for some reason it's not letting me unmute. So okay, let's have someone else and we'll see if I can come back to them. Okay, A5119. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please recite Surah Al-Kawthar as well, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا آتيناك الكوثر.
Okay. And on this, just recite this word over here that's highlighted.
Al-Kawthar.
Good, very good. And if I give you words at random, so can you read this word over here?
Tuhadith. Tuhadithu.
Yeah, so put a little bit more stress on the dal. Tuhadithu.
Tuhadithu.
Very good. And if you can read this word here, please.
Mithqala.
Yeah. I'm just going to go back here and give you. So if you can read this word here.
Ithaqalatun.
Just make this a little bit longer because it's an alif madda. Ithaqaltum.
Ithaqaltum.
And this one here.
فتمثلنا
Make them all 1 second. Apart from this one, it's still going to be 1 second, but there's going to be more emphasis on this tha because of the tashdid. فتمثل.
فتمثل
Yeah. And this one here?
منبثا
Yeah, so if you're going to pause, it will be batha, but if you're reading it just as it is, mumbathan.
منبثا
Yeah, excellent. Okay, let's take a few more words. So over here, if you can read here.
فحدث
فحدث.
فحدث
Yeah. And over here.
والأنثى
Read it again, please.
والأنثى
Excellent, yeah, very good. And if you can read this full verse.
كذبت ثمود بطغواها
Yeah, perfect. And if you can read from Thumma up until the end of this verse.
ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالحق.
Sorry, there we go. Yeah, so watawasaw, and then carry on from here.
وتواصوا بالمرحمة.
Okay. So over here, in both of these places, we are, sorry, not here, here. These are both examples of alif madda. So we're going to prolong them for 2 seconds. Watawasaw bis-sabri, and then watawasaw bil-marhamah. Okay, so in both of these places, they're not going to be like a blank alif that you sometimes see, but they're going to be alif madda. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah. And if you read this verse here, please.
وَلَا يُوثِقُ وَثَاقَهُ أَحَدٌ.
Just over here, how are you reading this lam with alif?
وَلَا.
Wala, so 2 seconds because it's alif madda again, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Jazakallah. And do you have A5127 there?
Yeah.
So we are going to go to Surah Al-Jumu'ah, which is page 554, I believe. Okay, yeah. So if you could please read, first of all, just read the highlighted word.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ba'atha.
Excellent. And this one over here.
Mas'alu.
Very good. So if I just make a pause over here, could you just read the verse up until this here?
Yeah. Masalul lazina humilus sara.
So you're joining this lam with the ta.
Lutawra hatum.
So if you're going to pause, so مثل الذين حملوا التوراة. Okay, because if you're going to pause over here, how are you changing this ta marbuta?
Toimen adatum.
Sorry?
I thought you meant I was supposed to stop at the tum.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, no, that's fine. That's not to worry. So if you can carry on just from thumma up until here.
ثم لم يحملوها كما الحمار يحمل أسفارا.
Excellent, very good. And then if you can do from Bitsa up until here.
بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله
Just join these two words together again.
بآيات الله.
Excellent, very good. Okay, so read from here, just up until here.
ثم تردون إلى عالم الغيب والشهادة.
Excellent, very good. And just read this highlighted word over here.
كثير.
So read it as if you're not stopping.
كثيرا.
Very good. If you're going to join it with this here, with the lam mushaddad, how are you going to read these two words together?
كثيرا لعلكم.
Excellent, very good. And let's look. I think those are all the examples. Okay, that's fine, Jazakallah. Do you feel confident with the rule? Do you think you can apply it quite easily in your recitation?
Yeah.
Yep, okay, perfect. Okay, Jazakallah. Thank you very much. And I'll come back to N6127 to do the concluding prayer in a bit. So, as I mentioned, the homework for tonight is to reflect on your own recitation. So wherever you're reading in the Holy Quran, if it helps to identify those words that contain the tha beforehand, otherwise if you think you can remember and you think you're quite confident with it, then just paying attention to making sure that that letter is sounded correctly. So inshallah, I'll ask the teacher for tomorrow to just go through those words which highlight the importance of making sure you recite words correctly with their own independent pronunciation. So we learnt today the difference between the tha and the letter sin, and inshallah we'll look into the next letter, which I believe may be the letter ha, so we're looking at this letter hopefully tomorrow, and we're going to be making a difference, looking at how it's different to this letter ha. So ha and ha. So inshallah we will do that in tomorrow's lesson, and I'm just going to go back to N6127. Assalamu alaikum. N6127.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please read the final prayer?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma arhamni bil Qur'anil azim waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahmah.
Jazakallah. Very well read. And the translation, please.
O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much. And inshallah, see you all in tomorrow's lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.